and we are super duper excited to be here to finish strong for the International Women's Week. We have been celebrating all week. We have had some amazing speakers on here, and tonight it's no different. We are going to finish strong. Guys, my name is Jennifer King, otherwise known as Nunu, and I help you frustrated employees, those that have to go to a job, and unfortunately, some people don't have a job right now or maybe working from home. I help you build and grow a business so you don't have to go to the job. So right now, my focus is going to be those folks that may not have a job to go back to build and grow your business. We have some amazing, amazing speakers tonight who are going to be speaking to you. So get your pen and paper. Be sure you share out the broadcast. And if you're just now coming across this and you've missed us all week, no worries. Go ahead and get registered at bit.ly/yourday2020, bit.ly/yourday2020, so you can stay connected to us, because right out the gate, this is the kind of community we are. Right out the gate, we have something else brewing for you guys to get started to build and grow your business. Our coach Danielle Whittingham, she is the legendary Reverend Dr. Danielle Whittingham, has something legendary, and she has a goal of helping 500 families. So as we hear from our speakers tonight, get prepared to ask them questions. Let's engage, share out the broadcast, and when we get towards the end, I'll remind you guys again about what we have brewing for you guys on tomorrow. So go ahead, Katrina, take it away.
Hey everyone, this is Katrina Major. I'm going to show my slide, but I am just so grateful to be able to be on this platform with our coach Danielle Whittingham, to empower us, just like we want to empower you. So I'm going to be talking about first-time home buyer. Under our circumstances of today, a lot of people think that there's no one looking to purchase or sell, but that's not true. We're just learning how to do little things a little differently because of our circumstances with the coronavirus. But because, we still need to live, we still need to go out here and have a place to stay, I'm going to still talk about what you can do as a first-time home buyer. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. You guys let me know when you see it.
Awesome. Hey, Rose Fauntleroy. Hey, welcome, 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 guys. Again, please share out the broadcast. Let me go ahead and shut out some screens before we get some feedback, but go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, let's see here. All right, here we go. Katrina Major with Majors Consulting. I'm a realtor and a realtist. I don't know if a lot of people know what a realtist is, but back in the day when we were segregated and we were unable to be a realtor, then they created the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, and that is to promote African American in homeownership. So all these years later, we're still doing the same. We still want to promote in our community so that we become wealthy in our finances, and being in real estate is one of them. So your dream home. I did pretty good, There's my first presentation slide. I had to figure it out, but we got it together. All right. So the presentation, what we're going to talk about is understanding your why, check your credit, create a budget, save for down payment, shop for a mortgage. You guys are going to see me go off a little bit. Somewhere reason when I put it on, it went into my other screen. So shop for a home and make an offer, inspections, coordinated and paperwork, and closing the deal. Owning a home is a keystone of wealth, both financial influence, and emotional security. This is by Susan Orman. She is one of those financial gurus that is out there and that's teaching everybody. I happened to learn about Susan years ago when the market had crashed in 2008. And of course, I was a realtor at that time, right? And I was losing whatever pension that I had left. So she helped me be able to save and recover the little bit of funds that I had. And so it is so important to me to help everyone, to empower everyone so that we can all be financially free. Okay, I'm gonna talk a little bit about me. My mission is to empower you through home ownership. Of course, I've already spoke about me being a realtor and a realtist. You know, I have a background in insurance as well. I'm an author, speaker, and coach. Of course, you know, I enjoy what I do. I'm enjoying, you know, being a part of this community because of the fact is that I love helping people. I love helping people to be able to show them how to be able to become a homeowner, to get a piece of that pie, of that American dream, right? How do I get started? It says, understand your why. Why is it that you really want to become a homeowner? A lot of times, you know, people want to become a homeowner because they see everybody else. But are you really ready and prepared? What is your reason why? Is it because you know, your rent is going up high here in California? You know, our rents are going higher and higher. So it would be great if you can get, you know, into a mortgage that you know that it's not going to increase every year. So, you know, what is your why? Why is it that you want to become a homeowner? Define your personal and financial goals. You know, in order for you to become a homeowner, you got to become disciplined. We also got to become disciplined in our finances because of the fact is that this is one of the largest purchases that you will ever do in your lifetime, right? So it is so important that you make those goals that you need in order to take care of your finance, to be a homeowner. You know, just going back to your why. What is it? Why do you want to become a homeowner? The other one is, when do you plan on moving? You know, right now, you know, a lot of people are still in the process of, you know, purchasing. It's not as frequent because we haven't figured it out yet on how to be able to connect with our clients, even though they are starting to do virtual open houses. So this is going to be, you know, we're going into a new realm that Coach talks about as well. You know, everything is going to be online. How are you going to be able to do a transaction? So we are working on that as well. What do you want in a home? Where do you want to live? You know, where's the location? Where are the amenities that you want to have, right? So that's something that you need to sit down, write out, get yourself a plan, right? You also need to save for a down payment. A lot of times, even though there are programs out here, you know, what if there was no programs? You know, typically, you know, we would have to have 20%. So you have to save your money. Even though there's programs out here, they still want to see that you have some kind of income, finances put aside. So what if you didn't have any of these programs that I'm going to talk about? Where's that money coming from? So they like to see, you know, some savings in your account, you know, what they call season. Not that you just got the money and dumped it in today and you're going to show that you have funds, because of the fact with fraud and everything that's going on, when they're looking at your savings, they want to know that it's been sitting there for a while. So that's letting them know that you have been saving and you just didn't, you know, just throw it in there from illegal. It could be wherever that money came from. And every time that, you know, you have money, they will verify that. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. Then the last one is, are you prepared for the responsibility of being a homeowner? You know, just because you say you want to be a homeowner, there takes a lot, because if you're renting, you don't take any care of those responsibilities of being a homeowner. That means that, you know, maintenance of the home, you know, anything that breaks down, or, you know, mowing the lawn. So there's a lot of things that are planned into, you know, saving, planning, and being responsible. Okay. Check your credit. Is your credit worthy? Okay, what does credit worthy mean? I think I talked about this before when I was on live, is that, you know, a lot of times we look at that we're being identified by our social security number, right? But that's not the case. Your credit is what is your identity, and how good is your credit? You know, so if you don't have good credit, we're going to talk a little bit about this. This is where the good time for you to start planning on how to clear up your credit, or if you are, you know, okay in your credit, how to boost it up. So this is the time that you need and want actually to be able to do those things by us being in, staying home, or I never can get that right. But you know, what are you going to do? What are those things that you want to do? I think I spoke about that. So this is a great time to get your finances in order. It says, Pull your credit report every 12 months. Why? Because you never know what we having fraud and things of that nature. You don't ever know what's going on with your credit report. So staying up on it would be a great asset to you to do so that you are aware. And it's always about being aware of everything that we do, especially our finances. And being for your credit is about your finances. So when you're pulling your 3 credit reports, you can go to freecreditreport.com, creditsesame.com. There are others out there, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. They also have websites, but these are your 3 creditors that look at when you're the companies that rate your credit. So you have Experian, you have TransUnion, you have Equifax. Now, when we're talking about credit scores, what is a good credit score? Okay, I put here that, credit score ranges from 300 to 850. The higher your score, the better you are able to get credit. And basically that determines what is your reliability on paying back your debt. So this is what lenders look at. They look at this score. And it does say the higher the score, the better the interest rate. So of course you want an interest rate. And right now we have great interest rates going out there. They're at as low as 3%. So that is so important. The lower the score, the higher your interest rate. That means that the higher your mortgage payment will be, right? So if you have a higher score and you can reach to getting as low as 3%, that would be wonderful, because that allows you to be able to have low mortgage payment, but it also qualifies you to have a larger purchasing power, right? So the credit scores affect your interest rate, your loan amount, and your monthly payments. Here is an example of what I was just talking about your scores, right? So they have here that 760 to 850. You're looking at interest rate at 3.467. Your monthly payments would be, and this is on 150,000. Monthly payment would be $671. So the interest over the life of the loan would be $91,490. So as you see, the numbers as they are going lower, how the interest rate is getting higher. Your payment is getting higher. The interest that you pay over the life of the loan is getting higher. Says if your score changes to 760 to 850, you could save in your mortgage $50,244, opposed to at the last line, if you were at 660, 679. You see what the difference is? With the higher interest rate, with the higher score, they are basically almost saving $20,000 more with someone less than great scores, okay? Create a housing budget. Okay, this is be realistic. Now I put here smartaboutmoney.com. It is a free website. It has budgeting. It has everything that you can think of that you would need to wonder about: how to pay off your bills, life insurance, budgeting for anything, your home, yourself, personal. So you may want to check that out as well. It'll be a great tool for you to use in order to get yourself prepared. When budgeting, take in consideration the following that you need to take into account, especially as being a homeowner. Just like when you're renting, you have to pay your rent. Same thing, you got to pay your mortgage. For those with homeowner associations, a lot of people are not aware about this homeowner association, but that is separate from your mortgage payment, interest, and your property taxes. So you would have to take that in consideration if you are in a homeowners association. Now, a lot of times people don't know what a homeowner association is. A homeowners association is a community that is governed by covenant rules and regulations. So that means that you only can, they'll take care of your outer, depending on what the community is going to take care of, but it is keep your community beautiful and nice. So you're paying for basically to have a nice community, opposed to a community that doesn't have a homeowners association. They can do whatever they want to do. You know, they don't have to take care of their yard. They can paint their house any color. You know, that throws off the scheme and also can ultimately affect the value of your home. So when you have an association, you know, there are pluses and there are minuses. A lot of people don't like, you know, homeowners association, but I love them because of the fact is that my community, I'm paying to keep my community nice. So when I'm ready to sell my home, guess what? I'm going to get top dollar for my property. Okay. Unforeseen maintenance cost. You know, everything always happens, right? As a matter of fact, both at the same time, my dishwasher and an eye on my stove went out, right? So, of course, we need to take care. We wash this, which they did for a while, but that was a cost, right? And so, you know, you want to protect yourself. I'm going into the next one with a home warranty. You know, great that I have a home warranty. I'm always about being protected so that I do not have to cost me a lot to be able to take care of an item that needs to be taken care of, right? So home warranties, you make sure that you have an emergency fund. You should at least have 3 to 6 months of your total cost for the month, that if anything happens like now, right, that we can survive and you can be okay without worrying about, you know, touching your credit cards or anything else of that nature. Then you have to take into account your utilities. And I just put etc. because that list can go down and long. But when you start thinking about the things that you want for yourself and when you're planning, you're going to take all those considerations that, you know, those expenses, that so that you'll be well aware of what you're going to need every month to be able to sustain and to pay your mortgage on time. Okay, so it says save for a down payment. You know, it's not so much about a month, but a lot of people think that you need 20% to as a down payment, and that's not true. Okay, 20%, the reason why people say 20%, because it avoids property mortgage insurance, which is known as PMI. Right? Back in the years before, you know, now that we're back at one loan of 100%, they used to split those loans up. You used to have 2 mortgages, a first and a second. That first was the 80% because you had, in order not to have a property mortgage insurance, you had to have at least 20% of equity in your home in order not. And what that property mortgage insurance is for is that it protects the lender in the event that you default, okay? So it's like an insurance protection that you're paying for them in the case that you do not take your responsibilities seriously, right? It says the less down payment gets you into a home faster, which is so totally true. You don't need to have that 20%, you're able to come in. But also too, you know, when you're thinking about, well, that property mortgage, well, which one you want? You have to look at it. You got 20%, right? Which eventually, once you become a homeowner, you can always, the property will increase in value over time, which will give you that 20%. Once that does occur, then guess what? You can petition to have that PMI dropped, right? So there are programs out here that are 3% to 3.5% down. That's much more better than 20%. Don't you agree? Yeah. So first-time homebuyers programs that will assist you with down payment and or your closing costs. Now, VA and USDA loans, those are for veterans, and USD loans are for those who live out in the rural areas. They have 0 down and 0 closing costs. So basically, they can get in for free. So all of my veterans out there who are wanting to purchase, you are at a great advantage. Okay, FHA loans, which are Federal Housing Administrative loans, and those are backed by the government. That's 3.5% down. Then you have conventional loans, which are your private with Freddie Mae and Freddie Mac, is 3% down. So that's a lot more better difference than that 20%. So anyone that's looking to become a homeowner, it is a possibility. says shop for a mortgage. When you have decided that, okay, I'm ready, my credit is good, and oh, let me go back a little bit and spark what we could talk about it here, is that when we were talking about the scores, in order for you, when we're talking about the higher the score, the better the interest rate. Well, for these programs that I just mentioned for the first-time home buyers, your scores need to be at 660 for you to qualify for these programs. And it's a wonderful thing. I've used them. I've showed my clients how to be able to benefit from them. It used to be 640, but of course, you know, with the economy, they just changed it and upped it to 660. But, you know, I have confidence in you that you got those scores. And if not, you're going to get those scores up, right? So that you can become a homeowner. Okay. And also for those who, you know, your credit is not that good, you know, there are ways once you pull your credit report to be able to find yourself in a position where you can do that, because you can increase. Either you can do it yourself, which is once you pull that credit report, then you're looking at if you have any discrepancies, you can petition those to have them taken off if they're erroneous or anything like that. If not, and you don't know how to do that, or you're in a situation that, you know, things need to be worked on, there are individuals out here that do credit repair that are more than happy to assist you. Of course, you know, there is a nominal fee on that, but it's worth it. You know, always have to invest in yourself for what you want. Okay, so when you're going out and you're shopping for a mortgage, that's the first thing that you need to do. Because me as a realtor, when you start talking to me about you are ready, my first question is going to be, have you been approved? Okay, and so because it doesn't make no sense for us to be able to go out here and start showing you when you're not ready and prepared, you know? I mean, that's a waste of our time. That's a waste of your time. So it says when you're going out here looking for a mortgage, you're going to shop at least 3 lenders. You have bank and you have mortgage brokers. Let me explain the difference between the two, because a lot of people don't understand that. Lenders, banks, okay, they have their own product, right? And they are exclusive. So that means that you only can use their product. Okay. And so a mortgage broker, what they are they're able to do shopping for you to try to get the best rate for you. And it could be bank, it could be private lenders, you know, the government, you know, for any of those back programs. So they have more of a variety to choose from to be able to give you a better interest rate. Possibly, but that's why you're going to shop around, because banks are competitive as well, you know, and they do have some pretty good programs out there also. It says get pre-qualified or pre-approval letter. Now, does anybody know the difference between a pre-qualified letter and a pre-approval? Okay, what a pre-qualified letter says is that you go to the lender, you says, I want to buy, they, you know, take your information, and according to, they're going to put it in their system, according to their system, you know, they can qualify you for X amount of dollars, right? But once you can use that, but once you find a piece of property, guess what? You're going to have to go through the whole process of giving them actual documentation so that they can process the loan, right? And no telling what could happen. But when you do a pre-approval letter, what that states is that you've given them all of your information, okay, and they've sent it to the underwriter. And the underwriter then has gone through the process of seeing, you know, what you're truly qualified for, that you're okay. Once you get, it may take a few more days longer than that pre-qual, because the pre-qual could be instant. But once you're pre-approved through the lender and the appraiser, I say the appraiser, and the underwriter, then, you know, hey, you're good to go. And actually, sellers love to see pre-approval letters because they know you're ready. They know you're actually ready. That you don't have to go through the process of getting ready, right? So when you're presenting yourself with an offer that says that you're pre-approved, because the only thing they have to do is go into contract, the loan is done. So you can get, averagely it takes 30 to 45 days depending on the program. But when you're pre-approved, guess what? It possibly can go quicker. All right. Items that you're going to need to submit to the lender are 2 months of bank statements, 2 years of tax return, proof of income, and or a gift letter. You know, a lot of times, you know, people don't know that someone can give you a gift to assist you with your closing costs and your down payment, if that's the case. Also, you know, for first-time home buyers, you know, there are programs out here that will help you and assist you with your closing costs and or your down payment. Okay, whereas sometimes, you know, you're basically getting in with 0% down, and that's what I like. I'm always a fan of trying to assist everybody to get into Sun Free. I'm always about being fabulous on a budget. Right. So wouldn't this be great going for the largest thing that you possibly can buy and you get in there on a budget? That's a great thing. Right. All right. Average processing time can take up to 45 days to process a loan. Hire a real estate agent. Me. Okay. It says finding a real estate agent can save you time and money in finding your dream home. Okay, a lot of times, you know, people think that they can do things on their own, right? But, you know, we are professionals and are right for every field. Whatever it is you're doing, you are the expert in it, right? And so as realtors, we are the experts in our field as well. It says, you know, we negotiate with the sellers on your behalf. Commissions are paid by the seller, not the buyer. See, so where that's helping you out and showing you how the process is, see, that's a win-win situation as well. It says traits to look for in an agent. It says knowledge and experience, communication skills, that you feel comfortable doing business with this person. And usually a lot of times, you know, it's those who you know, like, and trust. Right? And if you don't, you have to feel out this person to see if their best interests are for you. Right? And so then here we go, honesty and integrity. That's number one. Right? You know, I want my clients to feel that you know, if I don't never known you before and we've just met, but I want to make you feel that, you know, we are best of friends and I'm taking well good care of my friend. Right? Until the end. So we are here to make your process as less stressful as possible. Shopping for a home. There are several ways to shop for a home. You know, you tell your agent what it is that you're looking for, right? And we have a system that is a platform that will put your information in. It'll populate properties that are at your criteria so that you can see who they are. But there are also other ways, you know, you got online that you can take a look at properties that are online with some of the online platforms. Of course, drive the neighborhood that you want to live in, because you never know, you may see that home, right? And because as realtors, we may not see that property come up immediately, or you may not see that property, or it could be just listed, but you happen to see it, right? So that's another way that you can possibly find that dream home that you want. When we're making an offer, you know, you we'll sit down, decide on, you know, what type of offer that we would like to make. We do the packaging of your offer so that, and we'll submit it to the selling agent so that they can present it to their client. Right? And what goes along in that offer is your offer itself, the pre-qualified letter or the pre-approval letter. Remember, we talked about that, right? Proof of down payment, terms of the conditions of what it is that we're seeking out of the deal. And then, of course, you know, a personal letter to the sellers. Now, this is a great one. You know, with the market the way it is, you know, we have a competitive market, right? Because we have a shortage of homes, right? So what would give you a competitive edge? One, having the pre-approval letter already together, and also a personal letter. And I'm going to give you an example. I had a client that we had helped purchase a home, but their home burned down by an arsonist. So we had to find them another piece of property, right? And of course, we were coming up against, multiple offers. All right. So I made the suggestion. Why don't you write a letter, talking about your circumstances, your age, that you guys are elderly, just how you're feeling, what's going on, and why it's important, that you find another home. Right. We did all of that. They were accepted for an offer immediately. So it's up to the sellers, because you'd be surprised about how sellers feel about who they want to sell their home to. You would say, well, it don't matter, but sometimes people are attached to their homes and they want to have a good family, whatever their criteria are, right? So you just want to be. We want to be creative to help you. Now that we're going into a different type of shift in the market, it's still going to be good because of the fact is that we are in a shortage of homes, right? Of course, the seller responds by accepting or rejecting or doing a counter offer, right? They may not have liked the price amount, or they may not have liked the terms of the condition, and they've turned around. They're not rejecting it, but they're just coming with a counter offer. Right. Once the offer accepted, signed purchase agreement, earnest money deposit, which is 1% of your purchase price. Now, you remember earlier I said, that 3 to 3.5%. So to have a good faith to show that you are serious, you are required to put 1% of the purchase price. So if that purchase price is $200,000, you need a $2,000 deposit. Okay, seller may have the right to keep the deposit if you back out a deal after a certain point of time. There are limits and to each level where it possibly can and happen. Okay. Inspections. We always recommend in any time that you have a agent that doesn't recommend for you to have inspections on this property, then you want to rethink it, or you want to make the request to have it done yourself. Because how do you know what the condition of this property is, right? So it's so important that you have these inspections so you're aware about what's going on with this property. Are you okay that there are no serious defects about this property, right? So it takes, you have up to 10 to 14 days after being accepted to have your inspections done. And what we recommend that you have is a home inspection, that they come in and they take a look at the house itself, outside in, to make sure that, what they see visually, and they go up under and take a look at what's going up under the house as well. The only thing they can't do is look inside the wall. So they don't have no control. But after that inspection, you're basically going to know what is going on with that home. Same thing with the roof inspection. You need to know if the roof is in great condition. You don't want the roof to collapse on you, right? So that as well. Also, another most important thing is having a pest inspection. Okay, because you don't know about termites or anything that could be going on with the property. So when you have someone come out and take a look, so those are my three mains. Once you take a look at that, then you're going to know what the outcome of what the property's conditions are. Okay, costs for inspections can range from $300 to $450, depending on where you're at. Also, this is something that's non-refundable. So you got to be careful about what, the property that you're choosing, because of the fact is that you are in this property, and sometimes it does happen because there's some things that are, structurally wrong, or something wrong with the house that allows you to walk away. So you got to be careful about that, because of the fact is that each time that's another inspection. So it can be costly. So, but that is something that your realtor will discuss with you as well. Okay. Also, the agent will negotiate any repairs with the seller. Seller can say yay or nay. If they say yay or nay, this is an opportunity to allow you to be able to step away from the deal and to be able to get your refund back. Okay. Contingency clauses that protect, and that is for the appraisal, for financing, and home inspections. Okay. Home inspections, we already talked about that. Appraisal, if the appraisal is not appraised at the value, and that's has happened, right? That, they're offering, for the home, let's say, here in California, it could be $500,000. But the appraiser comes back and say that home is only worth $400,000. Then guess what? Either the seller can reduce that price or it allows you to walk away, because of the fact is that that's a big difference. And also the lender is not gonna, and that's what the lender uses for the appraisal to determine if the monies that they're requesting is valid. Okay, so if the appraiser comes back at a lower price, guess what? The lender is only going to pay up to what the appraisal value is. So that's something to discuss about. And then, of course, home inspections. Again, we talked about that. That'll allow you to be able to step away from the deal. So those are certain protections that you want to be aware of. Coordinating the paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork, and a lot of times people feel that realtors, we don't work, we don't do our jobs, and what we're doing to making the kind of money that we're making is that we're not, doing all these things. But you'll be surprised. It's a lot of stuff, or everything that I've spoke on. Do you think that that is worth, being compensated for? And then when you're talking about every step of the way, I have to be able to take care of all of the transactional paperwork that is needed in order to make this deal a valid deal because of rules and regulations within our industry. Okay, it says you have the title company. Title company is a third party. And because we are realtors on both ends, we're not allowed by law to touch that money. So we have a third party who comes in, who handles the money, who takes care of all the paperwork to make sure that the seller is the legal owner, that there's no liens or judgments or anything on that property. So when you purchase it, you're getting a free, clear title. Okay. And then closing of the deal. Loan docs, lender, they approved everything. Of course, they're going to send it to the title company. Title company is going to put the paperwork together and have for both parties, the seller and the buyer, to sign. And of course, any kind of funds that need to come in at that time will be brought in at the time of signing. Okay, once you have done your signing, it takes 3 days. We have 3 days, what they call a 3-day rescission right. So, and then what it does is that it funds and then records. That means that everything has been received from the lender, the monies have been distributed to the seller, and of course, it needs to record with the county recorder's office to say that title has transferred from one buyer, from the seller to the buyer. So then, of course, once they state that we're on record, guess what? You can get your keys now. You are that homeowner, okay? So I'm gonna say yay for you myself, right? So these are the things that, you want to take in consideration when you're thinking about purchasing a home. Okay, and of course, to contact me for questions, that's what I'm going to do. I am giving a free consultation to whoever would like to know more about what you need to do in order to move forward to become a homeowner. And here is my information. Katrina Major, my email address is k.majorconsulting@gmail.com. Facebook at Katrina Major Consult. You can go there and also schedule an appointment with me. Instagram, Major Consulting. LinkedIn, Katrina-Major-3525598. All right. So with that, thank you for listening and good luck and happy buying, y'all. All right.
Wow, that was amazing information, girl. You taught a whole class. I'm gonna fuss at you when we get off of here because that was a whole class you could have charged for. So I'm gonna be Coach Junior and sit there off this line. But great information. A couple of things that you said. I'm always taking notes. Define again what a realist is, and you can stop sharing your screen.
Let me get here for the sharing. Where am I? I don't know. Why is it not? Oh, I know. I always go to the wrong thing. A realtist. Back in the day, when we were segregated, right? And we could not, we couldn't be with the white population. So because we were still able to have our own communities, right? We still needed to buy and sell and all of that. So we created realtors, Black realtors for our Black community.
Awesome.
Right. And so we still are today here to serve our community, to promote financial freedom, all of that, those things that we're still behind the 8 ball of home ownership after 2008 crash, right? So it's imperative so that we can help each other to become financially independent.
That's good. And one of the takeaways for me, and then we're going to move on to our next speaker, is you talked about, are you ready and prepared for the responsibilities? And that was one of the things that I never could wrap my mind around. And that's why I had a house before when I was married, but doing it again, my biggest fear was the homeowners association regulations and the repair responsibilities. And I just couldn't wrap my head around it because I didn't have the money to take care of those things. Now I have a different mindset. I have a way to generate that revenue. It's no longer an issue for me. So that's very, very important. I love the things that you pointed out as it relates
also, you want to look at it like this, okay? Just like everything that we got to pay a bill for, you're just going to incorporate that in there, right? And I always advise my clients, number one is home warranty. So then that stress of you having to come out of your pocket, you heard me say earlier that, my dishwasher went out, right? And my burner to my stove. So if I had to pay to have both of those fixed, how much do you think it would have cost me? Just to have a technician to come out and take a look. But with a home warranty, guess what? I only have one service fee. And actually, a lot of people don't know, but those were considered to be one occurrence. So I got both of my stove and my dishwasher repaired for $70. Okay?
Awesome.
So it's all about protecting yourself in certain things, right? You got utilities, you got to pay association fee. That is, I've been, when I first bought my first home, I was told, no, you don't want an association fee. And I didn't know when I bought the first one that it did have association, right? Until after the fact. But I'm glad. And I have been in an association and I've been an owner for 20 years.
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that information. That was a whole class. Hang tight because I'm gonna fuss at you.
I know. We'll talk about it.
Okay. Go ahead, Verlyn. Let's take it away. Introduce yourself and what you got for us tonight.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Verlyn Smith Randolph, and I am the Rose of Audacity, helping women to fight their fears and regain their confidence. So tonight I have a presentation I'd like to share with you.
Are you on Wesley's account still? Because I have unlimited accounts.
Then he might be using mine.
One moment, please. Okay. And here we are. The Courage to Bloom. How to fight your fears and emerge with confidence into full bloom. I am Verlyn Smith Randolph. Just a little short snippet of who I am, the Rose of Audacity. I am the owner and creator of Rose of Audacity, Amazon #1 best-selling author. I am a co-host of the BYOB morning show that belongs to the Reverend Dr. Danielle Winningham, speaker, entrepreneur, and event planner. Tonight, we'll again be speaking about fear, and I have the 5 F's, F like faith. So that's faith, fear, feelings, forward as in moving forward, and then freedom. The fear fighting roles of audacity. This is what qualifies me. My ability to support women in a loving, encouraging way, inspiring them to regain their power and their courage, lost through self-esteem, lost through life experiences that we all face one time or another. And I help them to fight through their fears, regain their confidence, and then emerge into full bloom from adversities of life with audacity. Faith, no matter what we do in life, no matter what it is, we must have faith to start off with. Faith is our baseline. We must have faith. Ephesians 3:12, in whom we will have boldness and access with confidence by faith in him. No matter what we want to fight, no matter what we want to accomplish, even right today with this virus that has just taken over the world, we can't do anything about it. We are all on the same playing field. We are. From the richest to the poorest. You can't buy your cure. The richest are getting sick from it. The poorest is getting sick from it. So right now, we all in the same position. But what we need to do is to hold on to our faith. And those who do not have faith, we have time to get it right. We have time to develop our faith. We have time to get in the word, study, pray, and believe that this too shall pass and he will bring us through. Have confidence in him that we will get through this. Fear. 2 Timothy 1:7 tells us, for God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Most of us probably would agree that fear is an unpleasant feeling, which it is. Fear is a thief. It will steal your joy. It will steal your confidence. It will steal your self-esteem. It will steal your love. It will steal your life from you. It will cripple you to the point where you can't do anything. Fear is a thief. Fear is also a con. Fear will tell you, oh girl, don't do that. You know you can't do that. You know they don't like you. Why you even trying? It's not going to work. And it'll go on and on and on and on. Fear is a thief and fear is a con. But fear is very real. It's very real. And I know there are people who really suffer from chronic fear. It is such a thing. And it leads to depression and anxiety and suicide and a whole lot of other things, a number of other ailments. It can really, really make you sick inside and cause diseases. Fear is very real. Feelings. Deuteronomy 31:8. He will never leave you or forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. The emotions and feelings of fear can cause you to feel as though you're unworthy and less than. These feelings also lead to self-doubt and lack of confidence. When you're feeling an emotional challenge or situation, really envision God saying to you, do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. See, so what we have to do is we got to speak to that thing. Because see, he's bigger than everything. He's bigger than that fear. He's bigger than that fear that we carry around with us every day, putting on that smile, but right behind it is fear. He's bigger than all of that. He's bigger than all of that. And fear, we have to face our feelings. We have to face the feelings that fear is causing me to miss out. Fear is causing me to be able or not be able to do. feelings that we have inside of us, we have to face them, fight the fears as best as we can, pray about it, and take action. Forward, as in moving forward. Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be discouraged. Yet again, the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. See, in order to move forward, we have to acknowledge the fear. So we acknowledge the fear and give it a name. Speak to it. Say to it, you cannot, and I will not allow you to. You fill in the blank what your fear is. Everyone has theirs. You fill in the blank as to what your fear is. And then moving forward, you will focus on a positive outcome and change their perspective and take action. Freedom. 2 Corinthians 3:17. Now the Lord is the Spirit. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Now that you're building your faith in this area, you're facing your fears, and you're acknowledging the feelings, you can begin to move forward into freedom. Because see, that fear thing is heavy. It'll hold you back. It's a con. It'll sit you down. And it'll let you know that that spirit of fear is very, very real. Have you ever noticed, just in what we're experiencing now, with everybody going into the store and buying everything but the paint on the wall, when you walk in the store, you feel heavy? You feel that tension? Oh, I wonder if they have any more tissue on the shelf for me. Or I wonder if there's any more dishwashing liquid on the shelf for me. Oh, the baby's going to need milk. Is there any formula left? That fear and that anxiety is setting in you, which is totally unnecessary, because he said he will provide all of our needs. People are running around operating in fear. So you either have to be faithful or fearful. And what we're seeing on the news and on the internet looks like people are being more fearful than faithful. So again, you acknowledge your fears, you acknowledge your feelings, which will help you get to your freedom moving forward. And at this time, I would like to say, if you follow these steps, congratulations, because you have taken the steps to fighting your fears and regaining your confidence. You are well on your way to emerging into full bloom. That is my presentation for this evening. And you can get all of the recordings from this International Women's Day Telesummit for the last several days, going to bit.ly, your day 2020. You register there and you can receive each and every one of the speakers and see the presentations that they've given over the past few days. Again, we thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. You know, one of the things a couple of things, I loved everything you talked about, but you talked about being forward and freedom. And I think that is so, so key. And the common thread there was the fear. And so I used to be fearful. I used to be so full of anxiety, but I did not know what that word meant. I knew the word, didn't know what it meant, and certainly didn't think it applied to me. But oh my God, did it apply to me? So I appreciate all of that. Now I fight fear like it's messing with my kids, right? You know, we will go to war for
That's
our
right.
kids. So
and you don't even think about it, right?
We don't even think about it. I wish somebody would mess with Kristen. I want you to come mess with him so I can fight you. But we just treated everything like that, and you got to have faith. You got to have faith over fear. There's a lady that works a leader in one of the organizations that I'm in. She does a conference called Faith Over Fear. And it is an amazing conference, an amazing conference. That was so much great information, you ladies. And both, it's very timely for me because I always was fearful of buying a house. Now I'm ready, and now we're in quarantine, right?
But don't worry about that. That's
all things
gonna
in God's time, right? All things in
absolutely.
God's time.
Absolutely. And you know, now it's time. See, sometimes you have to go into a shift in your life. And
Absolutely.
Verlin, same thing about fear. Girl, it was gripping me for a while. So I understand. And you know, you do have to move forward from it, you know. And I tell myself, you know, lights, camera, action. That's what I
That's good.
lights, camera, action, and
Yeah.
not worry about what nobody else is saying. You know, having God and the faith. So you were talking right to me. Okay.
She was
We
talking to a lot of people, and that was a great message because I used to let fear keep me in the bed,
yes.
talk me out of going out and
Hmm.
doing things,
I've
keeping me
been
in
there
the
too.
house,
Right.
all
Yeah.
kinds of things. So I really, really love that. So this has been an amazing, amazing week. I have had the pleasure of hosting the After Dark show all week with these amazing speakers, hearing the morning show with all the amazing speakers and the crew. What we got up next for you guys is a 7-day social media challenge. You business owners, and guys, if you haven't shared out the broadcast, share out the broadcast because we want to get as many people as possible. Coach is challenged herself and us. She's challenged herself and us to give families their own stimulus package. We're not going to wait
Hmm.
on the government. Now, when the
Right.
government gets it all settled, we want our money. Don't get me wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't need to wait on them. So she is doing a 7-day social media challenge. You can get registered for that challenge by going to bit.ly/7-day show up bit.ly/7-day show up. And she is going to teach us about social media, how to grow our business, a lot of foundational things, and how to create your own stimulus for your family. This is this is going to be residual income. This is going to be our now and later money. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
remember now and later?
Yeah.
Our
Now
now and
later.
later money.
Right.
That's what we're talking about. So be sure you go get registered. I believe we kick off tomorrow, but I'm sure the details are on the registration page at bit.ly/7-day show up. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. You ladies did an amazing job. I'm going to go ahead and click us out of Facebook, but you guys stay here because I want to chat with you for a second. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye. Have a good evening.